I've ordered a new fan. Hopefully that'll turn up next week, which means I'll have to take all that lot out again and do it all again. But at least I know the engine works, everything else is fine. Okay, so this is a follow-up video. As you can see, I've had to remove everything again, the dynamo, the fan, and all that again. It didn't take too long actually, so I must be getting good at this now. And my new fan has arrived. There you go, look at that, doesn't it look gold? Isn't that lovely? It's probably real gold. Actually, I'm quite impressed they can still get these and they're still made in Italy. Now, when I took the old fan out, I realised what would actually happen. I didn't even notice it at the time. I looked at the back and I thought, yeah, it's scratching on the broken part on the housing before that stuck out and decided to disintegrate. But what I didn't notice was that it's bent it, pushed it out, and in fact looking at it now, the sun's shining, it's twisted it all. So this is kind of wobbling like this as it was spinning, which is the scratching noise I could hear. If you compare that to a new one, that's nice and flat. So I'm hoping this will fix everything now. Okay, so I've temporarily refitted the dynamo to this new fan housing, and I put the new fan on the end, and no scratching noises, which is good. So let's get everything fitted back in and then see if it works, and hopefully we'll get back on the road again. Right, so I've refitted the dynamo onto a new fan. I'm going to put the fuel pump on in a minute. I've just got a few bolts to tighten up. Okay, before I put this fuel pump back on the Fiat, I thought it'd be a good opportunity to show you what they look like and how they work. So as you can see, this is an alloy casting. It comes in two parts. The bottom part has got like a little, I don't know what you call it, like a bit of an actuator there, and what happens is, you can't see it there, but there's a little rod in there that runs off the engine. All it does that all the time, pushes against this pushes a lever in there, there's like a rubber diaphragm in there, and a one-way valve. So the fuel comes in this way, by the motion of this going up and down, it sucks an amount of fuel into the bottom half of the chamber, pushes it into the top half of the chamber, and then as this moves back and this drops down again, it closes the valve so it doesn't allow any more fuel in or fuel out. So next time this pushes in, it lets a bit more fuel in, but as it's letting fuel in, it's pushing the amount of fuel in the top chamber that was already there previously into the pipe above and into the carburetor and into the engine, and this task just repeats and repeats and just goes up and down, up and down, up and down. Very simple idea. I found on classic cars, all the ones I've worked on, there's really only two types of fuel pump: this manual type fuel pump or an electric pump like you usually have on British classic cars made by SU. And we'll show you that one on the Bentley later on. But this is, personally I prefer manual ones, but unlike a lot of things, these are repairable. If you've got nuts on there after so many years, however many thousands of miles, whatever, eventually the only thing that breaks on these is the diaphragm eventually wears out, becomes brittle and finally doesn't work anymore, and you can buy repair kits so you can just replace that rather than the whole thing. Which is a lot better than a lot of stuff today where they just want you to replace the whole unit and throw it away. It's a total waste of resources and money, isn't it? But anyway, so that's what they look like. Anyway, always make sure you put some grease in there as well. So I'm just going to pop some in, because it's looking like you can do with some. So I always squeeze a bit in there, not too much, but just enough, and cover that. There's a paper gasket there, and it just happens to sit this in, stops it getting everywhere. And that's what a manual fuel pump looks like on a classic car, in this case Fiat 500. missing it, but the fact during these mad times where oil prices are going through the roof, it's the most frugal car I've got. Literally uses a thimble of fuel for miles. Most of my driving recently is just to the shops and back, just local shops. It's absolutely the perfect car. Funny enough, this is from 1970, this car. Was it 1973 when we had the first oil crisis? Talk about history repeating itself. Well, that test drive went okay, I'm really pleased with it. Still sounds good. At least I can use it again now. There's a message today, and the message is don't do car mechanics when you're full of a cold. Man flu in this case. It really is man flu. Because you don't notice things until it's a bit too late, and then those things turn into costly mistakes, shall we say. On the plus side, the car's working great again. I just had a little test drive. It's great. Everything's back to normal. Sounds really good. Nicely tuned. Unfortunately, the £40 fan has now to be supplemented by a slightly more expensive item. Let me show you around the front. They're not supposed to be that bendy, but look, what's this? Oh, this is a big camper van under canvas. And what's under there? A tow bar. I was that busy listening to the engine inside, I didn't realise the car was slowly rolling down the drive a little bit. As I noticed, it was a bit too late. I jumped on the brake, but it was too late because it's hit the tow bar. That's the end of that. So I've just had to order a new bumper. I can get cheap ones for about 50 quid, which I think that's what that is, like a budget version. But I'm not a fan of chrome bumpers anyway, not with the quality of them these days. So I've ordered a stainless steel one, twice the price, but not that much more expensive than the better quality chrome one, and I'd rather have stainless steel. The good thing with them, you can always polish any scratches out, and it should last. So that's the next thing. How to replace a front bumper on a classic Fiat 500, whether you needed to or not.